Let's take a look at the extrude object here in Cinema 4D. Now, the extrude object extrudes a spline to create an object with depth. The extruded object appears as soon as you drop the spline into the extrude object in the object manager. What does that mean? Well, let's go ahead and drop our trusty cube into the scene, and we'll go ahead and we'll convert that. This time I'll hit C on the keyboard. Watch over here. I hit C, converts it over to a polygon object. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the cube. We need to obviously go into our polygon mode first. Now I'm going to right click and I'm going to have my modeling tools available to me. So I'll click on the extrude tool. And the first thing I want to show you is if you have nothing selected, so if I don't go in here and select one of these faces and just left click and drag, everything is going to be extruded. So selecting nothing is like selecting everything. Okay, now there's something I want you to take a look at. Right now we extruded everything and you can see the way it extruded these out. Now we have preserved groups enabled. Now if preserved groups is enabled, polygons not exceeding this angle are broken apart during the extrusion. Polygons exceeding this angle to each other are kept together. So let's just go ahead and change this to 90. And you can see that it kept all of these together. Okay? Again, if preserved groups is enabled, polygons not exceeding this angle, which is 89 degrees, are broken apart during the extrusion. Polygons exceeding this angle, like 90, are kept together. If you keep this under 90 degrees, it's going to extrude these individually. But if I take it to 90 degrees or greater, it's going to extrude all of these faces and keep the faces together. Okay? Now let's go ahead and Control Z to go back. I'm going to select just one face and I'm going to left click and drag to the right. Okay, let me go ahead and Control Z. I can select this polygon and this one, and I can click and drag to the right, and they will be extruded along the surface normals. Now again, we have our preserved groups selected, so if we take this to 90, you can see that it extrudes differently. All right, so that's important. Something else you want to take a look at is the subdivisions that we have enabled. Right now, we have 0 subdivisions. We can come and add subdivisions on here so that we have more detail in our model. Now, we can also use the offset, and we can control the amount of our extrusions. If you have the real-time update checked here, and you click on New Transform, the New Transform will copy the last extrusion that you made. Okay, let's go ahead and get rid of that. And I'm going to drop a sphere into the scene. I'm going to choose hemisphere right here. Go ahead and turn on lines so we can see what's happening here. And I am going to make this editable by clicking on the icon here. I'm going to right click and choose extrude. And I'm going to just extrude this. Okay, so what we've done here is we have extruded this and we've created a little depth here. Now, if I go ahead and I create caps, if I click on the create caps, what happens is it creates a cap at the base of the extrusion, and this gives you a quick way to create a closed volume. That's useful in a lot of situations. So just to show you what that looks like if we turn this off, and let's go back to this. Just did Control or Command Z a few times. And I'm going to right click, actually select this, select the polygons, Control or Command A to select everything. And I'm going to go to the extrude tool by right clicking. Let's uncheck preserve groups and create caps. And now if we left click and drag, you'll see that we're getting something very different when we have these unchecked. So basically what's happening is everything is being extruded on individual faces. All right, let's go ahead and get rid of this. We're done with the sphere. I'm going to drop another cube into the scene, make that editable. I hit O on my keyboard to sort of frame that up. And I'm going to select the edges, grab my live selection tool, click on there, and I'm going to right click and click on extrude. And if I drag that to the left, You can see that I am extruding the edge down. Let me go ahead and extrude again. And if I control the edge angle, you can see that I can sort of turn this. Let's go ahead and turn that exactly 90 degrees. Where we can see this again. Extrude again. And we'll extrude like that. Maybe turn that to -90. And I think you can see where I'm going with this. You have a lot of control, and you can extrude your edges in much the same way as you extrude your polygon faces. Okay, so the extrude tool is one of the most powerful and most used modeling tools here in Cinema 4D.